Hello, I'm Regdor, and Casey Scragg is right next to me. And this is a public service announcement.
Death.
This is what happens when you forget where all the coolies are. Every day, dozens of Shadow Warriors fall prey to this mistake. Remember, friends don't let friends forget coolies. Now let's start level 2.
With suicide.
Why don't these rockets work point blank? I'm gonna sue. So then, this is the first level where starting cold makes things different. For example, I have to use the shurikens here. Except I don't have enough to deal with all those coolies.
Uh-oh.
Fortunately, there are traps to help me out.
Oh, yeah.
Grenade traps. That one will kill you if you don't run away.
Yep.
The next one spreads its grenades really far out, so the best way to deal with it is just to stick around in the corner.
Man, those things got me so many times when I first played this.
The second one was right on top of a set of missile ammo, which kind of like it was guarding it, so I might as well pick it up. And I was checking around just to make sure I didn't miss any coolies, because, well, you just saw.
The first time I played that.
So, tell me about that bathroom switch that I just hit right there.
Yeah, the first time I played this, I could not find that. I got trapped, and I couldn't figure out how to advance through the level because that bathroom was impossible to find.
It just looks like scenery.
Yeah, it just looks like scenery. Didn't even think about it. Anyway.
Yeah. Now, starting the levels with fresh set completely gearless really gave me an appreciation for the level design. Because I quickly found out that all of the weapons that you got previously are available in every level to follow. So, for example, I just picked up the riot gun and 2 Uzis, and the rest is going to be available as I progress. And I really like that they put in the effort to do that, even though pretty much no one's going to go through the game that way.
Yeah, it's just interesting that they designed the levels to have everything in them, in every single level.
Yeah, and now I can't play the game just carrying all the gear over, because I put a lot of work into figuring out what routes I'm going to take to get the weapons that I need to advance. And just starting each level able to blow up everything feels kind of boring by comparison.
Yeah.
Now, normally I would have thrown a gas grenade to get that guy who is hiding behind cover, but I found a better way to use it. There's a shortcut here into an infested room, and, well, I just tossed the grenade in there.
I don't know about that secret.
Well, it isn't technically a secret.
Well,
for this purpose it works.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And the most important thing that I did there was to take out a new kind of enemy, which is that thug except with red pants instead of brown. And it doesn't look like a big difference.
But it is.
That palette's... Yes, it really is. You'll probably die finding out the difference the first time around.
Oh, man.
That's because those guys have rocket launchers.
And occasionally they fire them.
Oh yeah. Sometimes they'll just fire their Uzis like normal guys and you won't even really know what the difference is. Then they'll fire 3 or 4 rockets in a row.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now there was a Shadow Ninja in there, so I thought it was worthwhile to use the rocket launcher.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I forgot to mention, those guys use flash bombs.
That's scary whenever I see one of those guys.
Careful, those guys can give you PSTDs.
Got that ghost?
More seriously, you don't forget where those guys are after you meet one.
It's very important to keep track of them.
And I think that a lot of this game's strategy is in tackling those guys who are really dangerous to fight head-on and seeing how you can deal with them with the tools that you have.
I'd say so.
Oh man, that guy survived direct rocket hit again. That's not good luck.
No. A lot of baddies here.
The red guys will also sometimes survive them, and I happen to think guys like that are worth using more than one rocket. I mean, especially no pain, no gain, because you can just die in one hit from either of those.
Mm-hmm.
Even the way I'm playing it, where you start without anything, working really hard on conserving ammo is more likely to get you killed than in a good position. Now, this window is a really good place to go to sort of get the drop on these enemies here. They have a lot of trouble dealing with you when you're above them.
I like sword. That's a personal weapon.
Sense.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah. Good way to take care of them.
Yeah. Another thing I should mention about going through these levels from scratch is that you really need to know where all the secrets are. Like, a lot of the weapons that you're gonna need are behind secrets. If you're going through just standard carrying all the supplies with you, you probably don't need all of them even on this difficulty, though of course it helps.
Yeah.
There can be only one.
I believe the coolie I just killed was the star of our public service announcement. So, put him in the credits. There's another one around here. Oh,
Caltrops?
fortunately that was just a landmine trap, not a shadow ninja.
Ooh, that guy's moving fast.
By the way, did you see how fast that coolie was going?
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll just sprint and go ballistic, especially on higher difficulties. That's why the double Uzi is so helpful, because that sort of thing will constantly push them back, same way it pushed that waste can back in the secret in the previous level.
Very useful. And you gotta be careful climbing up that ladder right there, because
Oh
you
yeah,
can easily jump over.
ladders in general are a whole lot of trouble to navigate in this game. I think that's just part of the build engine, the programmers couldn't really help it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Ancient Chinese
What I picked up
secret.
there is something I didn't really mention a whole lot before. It's a heat seeker card. I don't use them a whole lot because I find that direct fire is good enough for most situations, but the missiles can be pretty tenacious when heat seeking. Like in an open area. Oh, that was a bad grenade.
Whoops. Yeah.
Watch the kill count go. That was a good grenade.
Hey, that was a good grenade.
Well, not for them. But when you fire a heat seeker in an open area, it'll chase enemies pretty much forever. So it's really reliable in that respect. It'll even chase those invisible ninjas because, I mean, it isn't an optical guided rocket, it's a heat guided rocket.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Got that nuke?
Oh yeah, can't go without the nukes. I mean,
Of course not.
leave them there for just anyone to pick up? What kind of
Exactly, you
irresponsibility
can't-
is that? I'd rather just fire them all over the place.
Give him to Lo Wang.
He knows what to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he keeps one in his dojo in the first level. Doesn't even have a launcher for it. I guess he knows that rocket launchers are lying all over the place.
Yep, he knows this world he lives in.
So, enemies just went from 79 to 117. Wanna know why? Because they all teleported in, I guess. Serious Sam style almost, except they didn't teleport when you picked up a tiny health item. I really like Serious Sam, but that's a little off topic. Now, I went around there because there's another Shadow Ninja, and I don't want it to take me off guard.
Careful.
Oh, didn't manage to jump over
Still
that
gets
one.
ya. Jeez.
That was the second fireball attack that I was talking about, which... Oh yeah, Heat Seeker is very nice for that. Yeah.
Man, cool.
Really hard to avoid. And this forklift has a machine gun. It's easy to ignore because there's a turret that fires tank rounds just on the other side of the arena. But it's not so helpful because you can't move it, and when you walk in, all the enemies are between you and it, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, It isn't even intuitive to click the fire button while moving that thing around. Fixing it is optional, too. You just use it to get that secret, pretty much. Also, it's worth mentioning that whenever you're using a vehicle, auto-aim is automatically turned on, which changes behavior in a few ways. For example, enemies can tell when you're auto-aiming at them. This isn't such a big deal when you're using something rapid-fire like a Uzi, because it'll make them crouch and not even fire at you, so it's pretty helpful. On the other hand, it'll make them duck under rockets. So it's... Also...
Bad time to need to reload.
Yeah, auto-aim is also kind of annoying in that you can't always shoot at what you want. For example, if there's an enemy right next to a barrel you want to shoot, good luck hitting that barrel. Auto-aim is pretty strong. And the game was kind of designed around that, because originally you couldn't aim up or down that well. So it was almost as necessary.
It was necessary.
Yeah, almost like Doom. Well, maybe not quite that bad, but pretty close.
Yeah. You just can't aim up or down at all.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Now,
3,
this
2,
window
1.
is helpful both ways, because there's some enemies up there that'll machine gun me when I walk into the building, except once I get my shot lined up, that'll be solved real quick.
Warning.
Boom!
3 enemies
Nuke
for
time.
a nuke? Sounds fine to me.
Hey, they're everywhere.
Yeah, and you
Might as well.
you can only carry one.
Exactly. Might as well find a use for them. Alright.
Yeah, pretty much the whole level is repopulated when you hit that switch. Probably just stop the trip back from getting boring. Including another Shadow Ninja and Red Thug there. Whew. Don't want to be in line of sight of those guys.
Whoa, okay, there's why.
Yeah, that time he didn't survive the direct rocket. Or that time.
God.
Yeah, in a lot of games, especially the more recent ones, rockets are for dealing with armor and machines. Not in this game. Use them on guys. Like they were originally intended in things like Doom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what use is a rocket launcher if I can't use it on guys? That's not fun.
Yeah, blow them to bits. It's fun.
And this game, it's necessary. Because they'll do the same to you if you don't shoot first. In fact, that's something that really adds to the overall feel of the game, that I think people who play on the very easy difficulties are missing a lot on how the game was designed. Because even with the smaller guys that just shoot Uzis at you, you can't really afford to be in line of sight with them for very long and let them live, because you'll just take too much damage. Or with the more advanced enemies, you'll just die. So you have to be really careful about how you approach rooms, how you alert enemies, and you can't get away with just using the wimpier weapons on strong enemies, and I mean, circle strafing will only get you so far.
True, yeah.
And I think it adds a really high-stakes,
Ancient Chinese
sort of exciting
secret.
feel to the whole game.
Yeah, very fast-paced. You're constantly dealing with more and more threats. It's great.
And that press that I used to make the key, that was also something pretty innovative for its time. I mean, you don't really see devices like that in games that were made previous. Well, except Duke Nukem, which is made by the same people. Here come the Rippers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even using my auto shotgun yet, but I will soon, because that's how you deal with them.
Yep, that riot gun is very convenient.
Because they get in your face anyway.
Might as well take advantage of the spread you can get there.
Well, more like make up for the spread, because you don't actually.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't actually do more damage per shell when it's on full auto. The spread is just wider, so it's harder to do full damage. Of course, with a Ripper, that's usually not a problem. Rippers can also jump around. They'll start They can wall jump. They're more mobile than you are.
And they'll just occasionally sprint forward very, very fast. They're very sporadic in how they move.
And this is another really neat thing to the level. I bet the people
It's true.
who bought this game in 1997 were like, "Whoa, how do they do that?"
A giant drill, man!
It made
into
a
the
hole in the
ground.
level. That's awesome. And that's the end of the level. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time.
Mm-hmm.